6 things I learned that help my anxiety. I've suffered from anxiety for years. It took me a long time to finally begin working on it. After getting to the point where I finally gave in and wanted to make a change, I wasn't sure exactly where to begin. One could say my procrastination probably made my start a bit more rocky than it had to be. But here I am today with 6 things I learned and practice daily that help my anxiety. Take a deep breath. When I am anxious, I notice that I am often breathing shallow, short breaths. So I began to alter my response to anxiety by taking a slow, deep inhale whenever I became aware of tension in my body, a first sign that I am nervous. This has an immediate calming effect and leads me to then exhale slowly and then pay attention to another slow inhale, then another slow exhale, etc. I may do this practice 3 times or more each time until I am calm. Because breathing shifts my focus away from anxiety, I therefore am much more in the present and not caught up in excessive thinking. It's a relief. Step away from being rushed. How many times are we rushed to do things each day? I've found myself multitasking so much sometimes that I can become unaware of all that I'm doing. When this happens, I'm completely dominated by my brain. Once I realized this, I began recognizing these moments when I feel rushed, and I choose to slow down. Even when others are rushing me with, "Hey, let's go, we're going to be late," I ask them to please be patient. I sometimes even tell my mind this too. Slow down, you don't need to rush, all will be okay. I found that slowing down is key to enjoying each moment. Pause thinking. This concept seems impossible for many, and I must admit that at first, for me, it was challenging too. But once I understood that my mind was causing me to suffer through intrusive, irritating thoughts, I realized that the absence of thought is actually peace, rest. So my mind, when without anxious thoughts dominating it, will instantly transform into my place of peace, a refuge from suffering. But how do I do this? I found by focusing my attention on observing something, such as my breathing, the thoughts lessen and disappear right away, creating my safe space. It takes practice, but it is my go-to daily. I have to find space apart from thinking. Change thinking. If I struggle to pause thinking, I may choose to simply change my thinking. This is actually easier for me to do than pausing thought. Whenever I feel anxiety in my body, I know my mind is at work in a troublesome way, causing me to suffer. It is then that I usually become aware of the negative thought stream running through my mind and simply redirect my brain toward thinking about something positive. If my mind wants to return to the negative, I redirect it back to the positive. It's almost like training my dog. Identify triggers. After I began to work toward changing my mental habits, I noticed that I would still have reactions to others, especially family, that would become very negative altercations, especially fits of uncontrollable frustration and anger. So I identified what was triggering the mental reactions in me, and this allowed me to avoid some situations that I could not yet handle well, while my brain was in training. This approach caused me to have plenty of self-reflection regarding my relationships and why my mind was automatically reacting to certain conversations and situations in an undesirable way. Begin each day with meditation. Meditation may seem like a lengthy, mystical word, so let's simply define it as a practice to help reduce the mind of excessive thoughts. For me, meditation is like my morning reset, a refresher course in mind management. The practice helped me to learn how to manage thoughts by finding space apart from them, so I can step back and observe what is taking place within my mind rather than being led away by thinking. The anxiety tips I just shared were not necessarily quick and easy to put in place. They required a commitment to practicing them daily. Over time, I began to realize real change within me. I found that I had to learn how to manage my anxiety. Learning new things can take time, and I had to find what worked for me. I hope what I shared might be of help to you too. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos as I will continue to share more of my experiences and practices.